Let's face it, we live in a brand name culture. A reliable brand name instills trust in consumers and clients and can create life-changing opportunities for professionals and business owners, including financial advisors. It's that time again, time to tune out the hype and focus on the facts. Facts that matter to you, the income generation. Let's get started. Get ready to separate reality from myth.
With us, David Scranton.
David Scranton.
David Scranton.
David Scranton.
But David Scranton says, hey, not so fast.
How does it affect the markets? How does it affect the economy? Thanks to efficiencies in new technology and a staff of veteran analysts and portfolio managers, Sound Income Strategies strives to set new standards and bring institutional style investing to your portfolio. I'm David Scranton. Now, if you're a regular viewer, you probably already know quite a bit about my retirement income store, which was officially launched last year. You may even have read my latest book, which tells the complete story of the retirement income store and the vision behind it. My vision involves helping today's generation of retirees and near retirees meet their retirement goals through income-based financial strategies. The retirement income store also exists to help the growing ranks of financial advisors nationwide who now actually specialize in investing for income. And central to this overall mission is the franchising of the retirement income store, which is currently underway. Franchising provides major benefits for both investors as well as advisors, which we're going to be discussing right here on today's show. We're also going to hear from several advisors all over the country who are already aligned with the retirement income store franchise. But first, let's review some of the background behind the retirement income store. As I've mentioned before, the origins of the retirement income store date back more than 20 years to the period just before the 2000 market crash. Before that, I was a young financial advisor with a conventional business model, meaning that I focused on financial strategies built heavily around stocks and mutual funds. And that started to change based upon some independent research I was doing at the time, which helped me foresee the coming market collapse. In fact, my research told me not only was a drop coming in the year 2000 or so, but that it was going to be the beginning of a new long-term bear market cycle that would likely produce several more major drops and recoveries within it in the decades to come. With that, I began to ask myself, how do I protect my clients? How can I help them protect their money from market turmoils ahead without sacrificing return? And the more I studied investing for income, the more I realized that it was the answer. However, I also knew that convincing current and prospective clients of this could be a challenge. As I point out a lot of times on the show, much of the financial media is based toward the stock market, as are many financial advisors. Consequently, many Americans are conditioned to believe that the only way to get a decent return on their money is by investing for growth through traditional stock-based strategies. And not only is that untrue, but it's unnecessarily risky since growth can quickly turn into shrinkage when the stock market suffers a major pullback. Because this bias in favor of Wall Street is so pervasive, I knew that the main focus of my new income-based business model would have to be education. What came as a pleasant surprise to me was just how many people were eager to learn. The bursting of the dot-com bubble and the market correction that followed shook a lot of people, and they were anxious to hear about an alternative approach to retirement planning that carried less risk. In fact, soon after I changed my business model, my business actually exploded. I realized that for many people, the concept of financial strategies designed to protect principal while generating income inherently made sense to them. They'd just never been told it was a real option or taught how it works. And that's largely because most advisors don't have the knowledge to offer these income-based strategies. And as a result, they speak more favorably about conventional stock-based options. But that's changing. A few financial advisors had the vision and the courage to make the switch to income-based strategies soon after that first market correction in 2000. However, more took this bold step following the second, even more devastating market drop that occurred after the year 2007 during the financial crisis. Recognizing early on that this change was taking place in my profession, I began seeking out these fellow visionary advisors. And in 2006, I launched Advisors Academy, a training and coaching academy aimed at teaching other advisors my own approach for investing for income and investor education. Those who were receptive to the coaching soon saw results similar to mine, overwhelming response and success. Now, while the ranks of income-based advisors have grown steadily since 2006, most advisors have continued to resist the change and to keep their clients stuck in outmoded growth-based strategies. Fortunately, an increasing number of baby boom investors have seen the light and are actively searching for new advisors who understand that the game has changed in this day and age. And therein lies the dual vision of the Retirement Income Store, to serve as a convenient resource for helping everyday investors nationwide find the income specialist just right for them, and for helping those elite advisors meet their clients' needs and to grow their businesses. Part and parcel to that vision is the franchising of the Retirement Income Store. Coming up, we'll talk more about how franchising benefits clients, and later I'll discuss the benefits of franchising for financial advisors. Did you know that the Retirement Income Store publishes its own newsletter? Each month, we share helpful information, research reports, and other resources to help you navigate the complexities of planning and saving for retirement. And for a limited time, we're offering a 3-month trial subscription to the Retirement Income Store newsletter. Visit theretirementincomeStore.com to learn more. Now it's time to bring in our first guest, Dee Carter. Dee is the president of Carter Financial Group, a retirement income store located in Midland, Texas. He's also the author of the best-selling book, It's Now or Never, as well as the host of a popular radio show. Dee, thanks so much for being here with us today.
I am so glad to be with you.
So you, like many of us, weren't always an income guy. At one point in your life, you were a growth guy, like the majority. What made you make the change to income, and why now, when you look back, are you so glad that you did this for your clients?
That's a great question. About 20 years ago, I was working full-time, in fact, a career agent, career contractor with a big company. It was mutual funds. And my clients were losing money like crazy. As you can remember, back in 2000. And I decided it was a time to start looking at something differently. And so I started looking for income-producing products as opposed to growth to keep my clients from losing money. That's when I discovered the Advisors Academy, actually, when I walked into your office, basically, and said, tell me what's going on and what I can do better for my clientele. I really got concerned because they were losing money hand over fist in 2000, and I wanted to get them out of that. So I have since then completely turned into the income side, and it's been a wonderful opportunity for all my some 800 to 1,000 clients. We're having more fun than we've ever had in our lives. And the thing about it is we don't worry about what the market does anymore.
Now, Dee, it's interesting because, of course, over the last 10 years or so, the stock market has actually done quite well. So why is it still a great benefit? Even when the market's doing well, why is having that income model still such a great benefit for your clients who are in or who are approaching retirement?
One of the things that I've determined, it looked like it back down the road, becoming a part of the retirement income store has been the biggest thing that's happened to me in the last 15 to 20 years. The opportunity there and what the market's doing and where it's going, what I think it's going to be doing, and what most people are saying it's going to be doing, those who are wise enough to watch it and know what the history of the market is, makes my clients much more secure in what they're doing, gives us the opportunity to show them things that they otherwise wouldn't have an opportunity to see. So we're now doing things differently than we've ever done before, better, I think, than we've ever done before. And the clients are recognizing that because they're seeing their portfolios grow regardless of what the market does, and they have all that security built in. So becoming a part of the retirement income store is the biggest thing that's ever happened to me in my career. And I'm toward the end of a career, as you know. So what I'm trying to do is go out with a bang, run through the tape, if you will. But I want my clients to go with me and be built up and do a great job while we're going along.
And those are great words. I really appreciate that, your excitement, enthusiasm. But there's going to be a few financial advisors watching the television show. So besides having a sound income model for their clients, what else do you find are benefits for you as an advisor, benefits for you as a business owner, being part of the economies of scale of a bigger organization like the Retirement Income Store? You know,
being a part of the Retirement Income Store over the last, just recently, has changed my operation, because I'm a small operation. I'm in West Texas, for crying out loud. We have to be small. But now being a part of a larger group, nationwide group, where I have access to not only one, but another 20 guys across the country, and even more in the future, that will help me and my clients. If I have a problem, I can go to people that are really, really intelligent, really sharp guys, and ask them what they're doing and study with them and learn from those guys. I'm still learning at my age, and I think that's important. But being a part of the Retirement Income Store, it gives my clients and me an opportunity to be a part of a much bigger organization than I've ever been part of before, with much more intelligence, much more ability, much more marketing capabilities, the things that I could not do on my own that I can now do through the Retirement Income Store. So it's become a tremendous part of our plans for the future. As you know, my daughter has joined me. We're planning now to make a big splash with the Retirement Income Store and lean heavily upon the people and the things that we can obtain through the retirement, the products, the marketing, all the things that are there that I could not do as an individual group or individual guy or business owner. Now I can do it, and I'm excited about that.
I'm glad that it's a great thing for you as a business owner, but I'm particularly glad that it's a great thing for your clients, that your clients don't have to worry about oil prices or stock prices for that matter at this particular stage. So Dee, thanks again for being part of the show. We really appreciate it. And thank you also. Stay with us. We'll be back here with a lot more to come right here on the Income Generation. We'll be right back.
David J. Scranton's groundbreaking new book, The Retirement Income Story, will revolutionize the way baby boomers and their advisors plan and save for retirement. The Retirement Income Story, the story behind the launch of the Retirement Income Store, is about to shatter many of the myths Wall Street bankers have promoted and protected for decades. David outlines what he believes to be a much better method for planning and saving for retirement, one that doesn't involve taking on more stock market risk. In fact, most will be able to reduce and or possibly even eliminate stock market risk while creating renewable streams of income they can count on well into their retirement years. The simple truth is that if you were born in 1968 or sooner, you can't afford to ride out another catastrophic stock market drop like the ones in 2000 and 2007. Read The Retirement Income Story and revolutionize the way you plan and save for retirement.
Financial experts have predicted that the next major recession could happen as early as this year. What would you do if it took half of your retirement savings with it? I'm David Scranton, founder of Sound Income Strategies. And there is a safer way investing for income. By focusing primarily on non-stock market income-generating investments, you could significantly reduce the impacts of the next major recession. Visit the Retirement Income Store at soundincomestrategies.com to connect with an income specialist who can help you get started to an income-based retirement plan.
For behind-the-scenes photos, retirement planning tips, and upcoming giveaways, follow the Income Generation Show on Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch video clips, guest interviews, and to catch up on past episodes.
Now, if you travel a lot, brands like these can be comforting. Why? Because if you live in Florida and happen to like Wendy's hamburgers, you know you could buy a Wendy's burger in Cleveland, Ohio, and it's going to taste just like the ones you get back home. For consumers, that is one of the main advantages of franchise. That is consistency. If you like the service and quality of a particular business in one location, you can feel confident the same quality exists throughout the entire franchise. Now, naturally, there are some differences in franchise operations from store to store, but the core product and the principles that guide service should be aligned and consistent across the franchise. That's one of the important ideas behind franchising our own Retirement Income Store, to let potential customers and clients know that advisors aligned with the store all possess the highest qualifications and adhere to the same strict standards of service. In fact, many of them aren't just financial advisors. They're best-selling authors, radio hosts, and industry thought leaders who frequently share their insights on some of the nation's top-rated financial media outlets. They're also fiduciaries, which means they're held to the industry's highest professional standard and are required by law to always act in the best interest of their clients. The fiduciary standard is stricter than the suitability standard, commonly followed by most advisors, and it speaks to the higher level of professionalism required to specialize in income-based financial strategies. Making sure the same high level of service exists throughout the Retirement Income Store franchise is no accident. It's the result of having selected and coached these advisors over many years through our Advisors Academy. I continue to work with them as well as new advisors to ensure that they all have the latest tools and strategies to help their clients meet their financial goals regardless of changes and regardless of uncertainties in the financial markets. So it's an ongoing process, just like it is in any franchise striving for consistent quality and continuous improvement on behalf of its customers. The Retirement Income Store already has a force of about 24 advisors over several states, all fiduciaries who are uniquely qualified to meet the specific needs of today's generation of retirees and near retirees, particularly baby boomers. These investors lived through the financial crisis and the greatest economic downturn in the country since the Great Depression and are still living in an age of unprecedented global economic uncertainty. They know that they need a retirement plan that can generate reliable income for up to 30 years of retirement or more. They need a plan that helps to protect their principal from risks of spend down and market volatility, that keeps pace with inflation and rising healthcare costs, and allows you to meet your retirement needs with peace of mind regardless of market conditions. The Retirement Income Store now exists as a business specializing in products and services that meet those very needs, whether it's a franchise office in Florida, Michigan, or anywhere else. The ultimate goal is to have at least 150 Retirement Income Store franchise offices across the country. And we're moving toward that goal each day as more and more advisors respond to this rising demand among baby boomers for income-based strategies. The franchise model has many unique benefits for advisors as well, including access to the industry's best branding resources and cutting-edge financial tools that help ensure that they're constantly maximizing their clients' portfolios through active management.
Investing for income? The idea has grown in popularity over the last several years due to today's volatile stock market. But if you're at or near retirement age, it's no longer just how much you've saved. It's about maximizing and protecting your life savings while minimizing your risk from market ups and downs. David J. Scranton's new book, The Retirement Income Story, is here to help baby boomers face the challenges of investing in this age of economic uncertainty. Visit theretirementincomestory.com to learn more.
Now it's time to bring in our next guest, David Stearns, president and founder of Stearns Retirement Group, a retirement income store located right outside of Athens, Georgia, right near Atlanta. He's been working with retirees and near retirees now for over 20 years. Dave, great to have you back on the show today.
Thank you, Dave. Good to be here.
So, the income store, you didn't always use the income model with your clients. You had more of a growth model like many of us did in the past. Tell our viewers why you love the income model so much for your clients and why you think it's just the right thing to do.
Well, I really saw firsthand back during the financial crisis, 2007, 8, and 9. I saw firsthand a lot of clients who were trying to get income from growth. And I saw their income streams decimated, and I saw retirement dreams change and hopes change when that happened, because at that point, they didn't have the growth for income and they didn't have any income for income. And so they were forced with a decision: do they consume their principal or do they really reduce their income? And so that was when I really began to change my model completely.
Yeah, that's what I call engineering income, trying to turn growth into income. And you're right. It works. It works when it works, when markets cooperate. But then when it stops working, it gets really bad. So, in simple client terms, what are the biggest benefits for your clients with you having the income model and being part of the income store?
Well, I think there are great benefits. As I think about that question, it's almost like the benefits for me are the same for my clients. And what I mean by that is at the income store, we have a lot of expertise. We have chartered financial analysts that have a lot of years of experience in what I call pure income investing, not just throwing people in bond funds because it's easier, but really designing an income portfolio in the purest way. So we've got expertise, we've got collaboration, we've got a network, we've got passion. You know, all of the income store franchisees, all of the folks that do the investing, we share a common goal and a passion for developing income for retirees. And so my retired clients benefit from that. But, you know, Dave, they also benefit from some pretty big paychecks that they really like. And so that's a big benefit to them additionally.
So when you say the benefits for you as a company are the same as the benefits for your clients, all that expertise, you know, behind the lines, you know, you kind of got into the internal workings of how the engine works. But I think at the end of the day, what you're saying is if you have a strategy that gives consistent income, your clients can feel good and they can rest. You as an advisor can rest because you're not trying to engineer income and oh my goodness, what happens if the market goes sideways? You could feel good believing about what you're doing and be relatively stress-free, as can they. I mean, those are the real benefits for both you as the advisor as well as your clients, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's very well said. And as a fiduciary, I want to be in congruence with my clients. I want to win when they win. And the income model really allows that to take place.
And you don't mean you want to be incongruent, you want to be incongruence. You want to be congruent with your clients. I want to make sure everybody heard that well, the way you meant it to be said.
Yep.
Good. So we got a little bit over a minute left. Looking at where we are today with the markets and the economy and everything else, what are your best words of wisdom right now today for those income generation members that are watching the show at this very moment?
Well, I'm hopeful that 2020, the markets are going to grow. I mean, I think it's going to be a decent year in the stock market. I do think that there's the wild card of the election, and typically the markets react after the election. And so we might see a good solid year if the markets react upward. But the reality is that the folks that are watching this show, my clients included, the paychecks need to keep coming in regardless of what happens with the stock market. And so my encouragement would be when the upside is little and the downside is great, don't invest in the market what you need to be generating income. Get started now and keep an eye on interest rates, which we think are going to remain low for a while. So income investing, it's a perfect storm right now for income investing, and that would be my encouragement.
So in other words, even if you think the market's going to go up 20, 30% next year, it may not. So if you're part of the income generation, be careful what you speculate with. I think those are good words of advice. And David, thanks so much for being back on the show. We really appreciate it.
Good to be with you, Dave. Thanks.
And you stay with us too. We'll be right back here coming up in just a moment on the income generation.
For behind-the-scenes photos, retirement planning tips, and upcoming giveaways, follow the Income Generation Show on Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch video clips, guest interviews, and to catch up on past episodes.
Most advisors aligned with the Retirement Income Store are not just advisors. They're best-selling authors, radio hosts, and thought leaders within the industry. In fact, being part of the Retirement Income Store franchise helps them pursue these activities while still providing their clients with the highest possible level of service, expanding their visibility to reach a broader audience. As any advisor or independent business owner of any kind can tell you, in today's world of media oversaturation, it's harder than ever to stand out from the crowd. You might be the very best in your business, but making potential customers or clients aware of that is more challenging than ever before. With so much advertising and information bombarding Americans every single day from their phones, computers, and televisions, the bottom line is that if you don't stand out in the eyes of consumers or potential clients, you'll simply blend in with the competition. Sadly, that's true even if what you have to offer is far superior to your competitors and much more suited to the needs of potential customers. This is where the Retirement Income Store can be an invaluable tool for the right advisor. As we've already talked about, our advisors are cut above and do offer products and services that are uniquely suited to today's generation of retirees and near retirees, which is another major reason the Retirement Income Store now exists, to help these advisors stand out from the crowd. As we noted at the top of the show, we live in a brand name culture. And with that in mind, all of our advisors receive ongoing brand strategy support through Advisors Academy. In addition, their ability to write their books, host their radio shows, and share their knowledge in other ways is made easier through a variety of turnkey programs. These programs focus on everything from national branding and marketing to practice management, client service, and portfolio management. The main benefit of the Retirement Income Store franchise for advisors is another major benefit for investors. Why? Because by helping these industry leaders pursue their educational activities more efficiently on a broader scale, it means they'll continue to have plenty of time to devote to new and existing clients. These clients benefit directly from their expertise in the specialized field of income-based financial strategies. That means baby boomers or the income generation. Now, it should come as no surprise that this show was also an important part of the vision for the Retirement Income Store. Nearly every week, one or more of these advisors and industry thought leaders joins us right here as a guest on the income generation, and some have sat in as guest hosts. In addition, we occasionally devote an episode of the show to educating viewers specifically about the Retirement Income Store, just like today. Another important part of the vision behind the Retirement Income Store was Sound Income Strategies. That is the registered investment advisory firm, which I launched 4 years ago to focus on actively managed financial strategies. Active management and access to sound income strategies by our advisors is another crucial part of what ensures consistent quality and dependable service across the entire Retirement Income Store franchise, as we'll explain coming up in a bit.
The road to retirement is filled with twists and turns, and life's unexpected detours could easily throw you off course. That's why it's essential to work with a financial advisor who is also a fiduciary experienced in helping clients navigate the complexities of retirement planning while helping you pay yourself first. The road to retirement now made simple. To learn more, visit theretirementincomestore.com.
Now let's bring in our next guest, Anthony Saccaro. He's a lawyer, but don't hold that against him. He is the founder and president of Providence Financial and Insurance Services, a retirement income store located right outside of LA. Thank you so much for being back on the show, Anthony.
Dave, thank you for having me. Great to be here.
So you, like the majority of us, weren't always an income specialist. You know, you did other things in the past that were more growth oriented. Now you look back and I know you're excited that you made the change, but what fueled that change and what do you see as being the greatest benefits right now for your clients?
Well, one of the things is having been affiliated with you for well over the last decade, maybe even a dozen years, it became very obvious that you have to invest appropriately for the phase of life. And if you're in retirement, you need income. That's going to be the determining factor whether you fail or succeed in your retirement. And if you need income in retirement, then you must invest for income. And once that clicked, like it does with a lot of retirees, I started focusing on that because retirees are my practice.
So what are some of the benefits you see today when you do reviews with clients that you see under this new model that maybe you didn't see before under your old model?
Yeah, well, under the old model, the challenge is that you are just taking random, wild guesses. If we assume that the stock market is going to do 5% a year, that's a guess. We don't know whether it's going to do that. And you can hardly do any planning at all when you are guessing. It's a garbage in, garbage out scenario. But when you're invested for income, we're not guessing. There's a whole universe of options out there that we know how much is going to pay if you hold them for a year. So we don't have to guess. It takes the guesswork out of it, and it helps our clients retire with peace of mind because there is no guessing in there.
Awesome. Now, I want to switch gears with you for just a minute because also, first and foremost, you're a financial advisor, you're a business owner. I know you're a lawyer, but really, you're a financial advisor, you're a business owner. So what are the benefits that you see as a business owner, the leverage, the economies of scale, if you will, being part of the Retirement Income Store as someone who's already has a wildly successful financial practice?
Yeah, well, what it does is it allows me to leverage the marketing that the retirement income store does. The retirement income store is trying to counter the false message that Wall Street has been putting out there for many years. You got to invest for growth. You got to be in the stock market. And the only way to get income is to sell shares whenever you need it. That's false. That's not true. And someone has to step up in order to counteract that, because I believe there's an epidemic of baby boomers that are going to get into their 80s that have bought into the Wall Street lie that are going to run out of money. And the retirement income store is really the counter approach to that, in that the education is about investing right for the phase of life you're in. And that's what I find is the leverage as a business owner that I can't provide on my own. It's huge. Awesome.
Great words of wisdom. Let's switch gears one more time. Let's talk about the economy in general today, where the world is. And, you know, you're sitting here talking to the income generation, as you have on the show many, many times before. You know, what would you tell them is important today when it comes to their money, given where the economy is, given where the markets are, et cetera?
Oh, I feel like we're in another 2007 type period. I feel like there's a euphoria that we haven't had for a long time. We are currently in the longest bull market this country's ever seen as of August of 2018. There's never been one longer. And the reality is, from a common sense standpoint, we know nothing goes up forever. But behind the scenes, I believe the last decade has been artificially built. The economy is built on a house of sand. Printing money, artificial. Stock buybacks, the number one driver of the economy in the last 3 years, completely artificial. So the reality is, you got to be super careful right now, because we're going back with the deregulation to what it was like in 2007. It's not going to continue forever. If you're retiring in the next 5 to 10 years, be super, super cautious.
Now, 45 seconds we have left. I know there are some people watching who are saying, but the market's going up and up and up. I could squeeze out another 20, 30%. If they're thinking that, and if they're part of the income generation, then what would you tell them?
I would tell them to be very, very careful. The reality is the risk worth the reward? The market on 5 different occasions over the last 4 or 5 years has had double-digit drops in just a period of maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Last December, there were 20% drop. Bottom line is, it's going to go down. It's going to go down fast. You're not going to be able to get out like you think you are. Yeah, true. The market tends to, what do they say? The market goes up on the stairs and it goes down on the elevator. And I think that's very much true. And if you're that close to retirement, you just can't afford that risk. So, Anthony, thanks so much once again for being part of the show. We always love you having here. And it's always good to say hi to a good friend. You stay with us too. You stay with us too. We have much more coming up right here in a moment on the Income Generation. We'll be right back. If you're near or in retirement, head over to theincomegeneration.com and download your special report written specifically for the needs of the income generation. Again, those born before 1966. I'm David Scranton, and you've been watching The Income Generation. Now, while Advisors Academy is the key to helping advisors align with the retirement income store to stand out from the crowd, Sound Income Strategies is the key to helping them serve their clients. A typical advisor might say they can help you lower your investment risk by putting you in bond mutual funds, for example. However, that's probably because they aren't qualified to manage a portfolio of individual bonds and bond-like instruments, which is the true key to lowering your investment risk and increasing your return in the form of income. Remember, total return is the sum of both growth and income, with growth coming in the form of capital appreciation and income being generated through interest and dividends. The key to protecting your savings lies in shifting your strategic focus from growth to income, which can be done with the help of an advisor who specializes in individual bonds and bond-like instruments. These investment tools come with 2 important guarantees that you simply don't get with bond mutual funds: the return of your principal if you hold the bond to maturity, and income generated at a fixed interest rate for the life of the bond. Of course, that is assuming there's no defaults.
While one guarantee ensures your investment is protected from the risks of market volatility and spend down, the other ensures you'll have reliable income to meet your retirement needs and goals. The challenge for advisors who specialize in income-based strategies lies in maximizing the amount of income being generated on behalf of clients, which can be challenging in a low interest rate environment like the one we're in now. That's why all advisors aligned with the Retirement Income Store have access to the actively managed strategies available through Sound Income Strategies. Active management gives income specialists the opportunity to turn challenges into opportunities by strategically upgrading their clients' portfolios for higher yields on a regular basis. The result? Dependable and repeatable income without touching your principal at competitive rates regardless of market conditions. This income rate is generally in the range of 3 to 5% depending upon your risk tolerance level. That's income you can use to meet your goals and enjoy retirement, or if you don't need it, you can reinvest in other income-based strategies to grow your portfolio organically. That's the beauty of investing for income. It's not simply a gamble like other forms of investing. It's a true strategic approach designed to make your retirement income a renewable resource. Now let's bring in our next guest, and very good friend of ours and mine personally, Jeff Small. He's president of Arbor Financial Services located in Melbourne, Florida, and also best-selling author of the book, Turning Financial Planning Right Side Up. But he's also a frequent guest host on our show, and he is the Retirement Income Store's brand ambassador. So, Mr. Ambassador, it's great to have you back on the show today.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate the reference.
So, you weren't always an income guy, right? Like most of us, at one point, you were a growth guy, and you made the transition. Why are you so happy looking back that you made that transition from growth to income?
Well, I think, because we work really with baby boomers who are more concerned about income than somebody who's trying to, in the accumulation phase of their life, we became concerned with income because we wanted to be able to enhance the income potential for clients without making it dependent upon risk. And unfortunately, we're all trained when we get into this industry, and it's an industry problem. They overemphasize risk as the be-all, end-all, even for income planning, and that is just fatally flawed from a consumer's perspective.
Yeah, David Stearns, you heard before, talk about the fact that when advisors try to engineer income out of growth, it often doesn't end well, and that's unfortunately where we're being pushed. So now, as an advisor, not the brand ambassador, but just as an advisor, how does being part of the Retirement Income Store help you better serve your clients? Why are you excited about it as a business owner?
Well, the most exciting part of the Retirement Income Store, Dave, is to be able to offer fixed income investments that actually produce income that are not correlated to the stock market. We specialize in non-volatile components. And when you're getting a level amount of income, you know exactly how much you can spend. And that's the most exciting part, because that part of, let's say, financial planning or the fixed income investing realm has never been offered before to Main Street America. And so, you could have that kind of planning done for you, but you'd have to have a multi-million-dollar portfolio before any of the larger firms would speak with you about income planning that's yield or interest rate centric.
And as a business owner, I assume that helps you also, because now when we get another 2008 or tech bubble bursting in the early 2000s, you don't have to worry about all the stress and anxiety of clients calling you in panic because they're invested for income instead of growth. Is that also a big part of the benefit for you in the last 30 seconds we have here in this segment?
It's not just the big benefit for me and my business and my practice, as much as it is the benefit for consumers. That's the trend. Consumers are absolutely craving that type of a solution, and nobody is offering it except the Retirement Income Store.
Yep, I love it. Perfect. Listen, we need to take a quick commercial break. As you well know, you've been on this side of the desk so many times. We'll be back in a minute. You stay with us too. We'll be right back in a moment, coming up on the Income Generation. Welcome back to the Income Generation. Now it's time to bring back in Jeff Small, president of Arbor Financial as well as brand ambassador for the Retirement Income Store. Now, Jeff, when people hear brand ambassador, they think you're a hired gun. They think I'm paying you money every year, some sort of stipend or retainer to be the brand ambassador. But what they don't know is you came to me and were so passionate, so excited about what we're doing with the Retirement Income Store that you said, I'd like to be the brand ambassador. Can I do this? Share why there's so much excitement that you feel that you're taking time for free to help us promote this mission that's really part of the greater good.
Well, because we're changing the financial culture of investing for consumers, and they need to know this option, Dave. And when they have this option, they've all been trained their entire life. The culture has been ingrained in them to invest in the stock market, that if you want growth, you got to have some risk, and those two go hand in hand. And this element of investing in the fixed income arena that produces interest earnings and dividends and yields through the Retirement Income Store gives a brand new dynamic or a brand new option for consumers to have in their portfolio that they've never had before. And once they understand the value of that, it becomes, from their perspective, really a no-brainer to actually adopt that strategy, those philosophies, which is basically income-based and not stock market-based or risk-based.
Now, of course, we're attracting a lot of advisors now with this because they're excited about the concept. They're excited to join something that's a franchise, it's more turnkey. So, what are the benefits for those advisors of us having the economy of scale? Not just from a money management standpoint, but also marketing and visibility and being part of something bigger, how it helps their practice.
It helps their practice immensely because now they have a new dynamic to offer instead of the same old investment dogma, which basically is always be invested in the market no matter what the cycle is. That answer to that solution in the market can't be right all the time. And so fixed income investing gives them another launching point to enhance retirement accounts, to enhance the brokerage accounts, to enhance savings for clients that they've never had before. And so that dynamic is critically important, especially at this stage of the economics that we have, with the stock market being at an all-time valuations and the economy actually expanding for over 11 years now. We've had this record expansion. So it gives advisors the ability to help clients prepare for what could potentially happen in the future, which everyone is predicting volatility at this point. Even consumers who come into the office for the first time, Dave, that have very little stock market experience, but that's what they've been invested their whole lives because they've nothing else to invest in, are saying and sensing, this market can't go up forever.
Unfortunately, we need to leave it there. We're out of time. I always hate to cut you short. You always have so much to say. And you stay with us too. I appreciate all of you. We'll be right back in a moment on The Income Generation. I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us for another episode of The Income Generation. I'd also like to thank you, our new and returning viewers. As the Retirement Income Store franchise continues to grow, I'm excited to know that more and more investors and advisors across the country are going to discover what's in it for them. The answer, as we've seen from today's show, is a lot. Baby boomers in or nearing retirement who understand that asset protection should be their top priority will discover a go-to resource for finding just the right advisor to help them. An advisor they know is highly skilled, uniquely trained, and has access to the most sophisticated tools and strategies available for maximizing retirement income. An advisor they know is a fiduciary, held to the industry's highest professional standard and required by law to always act in the best interest of his or her clients. As for advisors who specialize in income-based strategies, they'll discover turnkey resources to help them maximize their time and to stand out from the crowd, and to help them connect with the growing ranks of investors nationwide who are eager to find an advisor qualified to help them try to protect their money and to meet their income-based retirement goals. That means baby boomers who have already lived through 2 market downturns in the last 20 years. These investors know they need a more secure retirement plan that can generate reliable income for up to 30 years, keep pace with inflation, rising healthcare costs, and help them meet all their retirement goals with peace of mind. The Retirement Income Store was created and designed as a resource to serve these very needs and to serve them reliably and consistently across the entire franchise. Thanks for watching. If you're close to retirement and you really want to know how to protect and maximize your money, it's absolutely essential that you stay informed and up to date. And right here is where you can do it on the Income Generation. I'm David Scranton, and we'll see you next week.
After a certain age, you shouldn't be overexposed to stock market risk. Yet, you might still be trying to squeeze every last drop out of today's market. And although fixed income investment can offer less risk than stocks, it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice return. In fact, recently some fixed income investments have actually outperformed stocks, but yet you're still waiting to act. Visit the retirementincomeStore.com today to regain control of your retirement.
For behind-the-scenes photos, retirement planning tips, and upcoming giveaways, follow the Income Generation Show on Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch video clips, guest interviews, and to catch up on past episodes.